Greetings! You're watching Septum Sin versus the World. I'm Septum Sin. Today we're going to be doing a walking review. This is going to be a series of roving reviews and another one in our great series of horror. So today we are reviewing the film The Phantom Carriage from the early 1920s. So, come with me and we'll do the review. So, what can I tell you about the Phantom Carriage? As we walk in the beautiful countryside on a fall day, we think about our good old European friends who take place in our Nordic, little northern European areas. It's an early era film. I mean, we're still talking 1920s here. And when I saw it, I said, this is a perfect Halloween-style review. I mean, you've got suspense, a little bit of horror, and a ghost story. Because this has to do with pretty much the story of the Grim Reaper. The idea is that the last person to die of the year is condemned to reap souls for that next year. And then we follow the story of a drunkard who happens to die at that time. And then we are shared with sort of a Dickensian, this is your lifestyle situation. Which, that's something that you're going to have to, watch it, and you can understand at this point. So, what was good about this film? Well, the good is, it was actually quite well done for something that was put together in the 1920s. I mean, the lighting, all that stuff, for that time period, it's actually quite a well done film. You get to see the little special effects, the ghostly characters that they made transparent on the film. That effect is rather neat. I actually enjoyed it quite a bit. The other effects, again, quite well done with the scenery, the setup of the silent film. Didn't talk too much, but gave you enough story to run on. The acting was very well done as well. I really did enjoy our acting, enjoyed our characters, and got to have fun with that. The musical scores that Criterion has put out, both of them are pretty good. One is similar to what the old track would be, which many of those old tracks that were played along as the film was going on, so you're not going to see many original tracks in that area. But as far as current contemporary music, they have a nice little contemporary track as well. So whichever way you want to go with it. It's sort of like how my copy of Nosferatu has a soundtrack by Tangerine Dream, which loves to attach themselves to these particular types of stories. Now I'm going to switch the angle so I can give you all a lovely view of the forest. As you can see, the fall colors are turning a little bit, much like the seasons of death displayed in the film. So, we basically go over this guy's life, and the pretext of the story is a pretty simplistic one, and it works. Even if you're not following it terribly closely, which at times I'll admit I wasn't, you actually still get the gist of the story quite well by the end. And this dude was horrible. This dude picked alcohol and carousing over being a good, compassionate person, and it comes back to haunt him. So, we've got some good. Let's talk about a little bit of the bad. I really felt the film was a bit preachy. I mean, You need to go to God. You need to be a pious person. You need to be a hard-working person. That sort of puritanical stuff that you're used to seeing here in the States. Not as much in Europe these days. But in those days, I guess that was still a big thing. So, you know, you get what you pay for, I guess is the word. So, with that, there's also a couple of other issues. I mean, the film restoration, though beautifully done for what they had, it was still a film from 1921. Now, I've seen other films from that time period, and I've seen much better quality of film. But, again, I can't really hold that against them a huge bit. I also think that the time that the film was done for, to me, any film but Metropolis that is over a certain amount of time and it's a silent film, too much. As far as I'm concerned, a silent film should be no longer than an hour. And if you're over an hour, ooh, son. If you're over an hour, you would better be one of the most kick-butt silent films around. Ooh, lens flare! No, natural lens flare. The sun keeps trying to shine through. It keeps trying to be summer, but it's fall. But in the end, this is actually a very good film. And there was a lot of inspiration that Ingmar Bergman actually utilized in these film techniques. And he was one of the greats. So this in particular was a very important film as far as that's concerned. So should you see it? Well, that's dependent. I think you should know of it. Seeing it is always a point that, I don't know, you might fall asleep if you're not used to this sort of film. Me, I'm used to silent films. I understand the importance of them and try my best to do what's right by them. So, but if you're not a silent film person, you're going to have a hard time with this one because of the length. I would give this one a 7 out of 10. A 6 out of 10 if you're looking at it from an entertainment point of view, but a 7 out of 10 if you're going to add the importance value to it. So, with that being said, I will put a link to it in the description below, and I wish you all the best. Oh, you know, I could do more of these style videos in the future. Please let me know in the comments what you think. This is sort of experimenting, you know, sort of a wandering review out in the wilderness. Maybe I can do more of these wandering reviews in the future, if you guys like it. So, of course, be sure to comment and like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.